All right, it is time to get going officially. This is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. Why am I doing this? Where is this going? Is this going somewhere? This is a waste of time. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever found yourself maybe at work, maybe at home going, this is a waste of time? Have you ever felt that way on the job right now? Don't raise your hand if you're sitting next to your boss. We start with time because right now something funky is going on. People are reevaluating their relationship with time and work as we speak, and things are a little bit different than they used to be. People are looking around going, where am I spending my time? And the follow-up question they're asking is it worth it? Oh, by the way, a bottom line impact. It is estimated in the United States alone that all of these muckish factors cost us $4 billion a year. And that, my friends, is a pretty sad stat. A very sad stat, as a matter of fact. Don't worry, we're not going to do that the whole time. Or maybe we will. Oh yes, Microsoft Japan. I was across the world in Japan, and check this out. So they went down to a 4-day work week. You know what happened? They saw a 49% increase in productivity. Working 1 day less a week. How did they do that? Well, they had to mitigate the muck. They had to start looking at everything on their table and prioritize and negotiate and delegate. And one of the things that they said was, hey, we got to slow down on the meetings because we have too many of them. So they put a cap on it. They said, we will not have a meeting that lasts longer than 30 minutes. And that and many other changes, 49% increase in productivity, working only 4 days a week. What I really love about this example is this is something you can do. On a local level, we can talk to each other and say, hey, why are our meetings 45 minutes? Why are our meetings an hour? Why do we have 18,000 of them a week? And then cut them down. It's something that we have control over. Microsoft Japan is one example. Disco is another Japanese company that's also doing interesting things. They got creative with theirs. They started charging people to have meetings. Yeah. They put in place a $100 an hour charge to rent a conference room for a meeting. And they also saw some positive results. I want to point out how simple some of these things are. We worry about reinventing everything. We don't have to. We can do simple little things, negotiate, eliminate, automate, delegate, and you've got those things at your work. You've got those sources of muck that you can work on. We need to rewrite the rituals to enable the desired outputs. We can integrate play into the work that we do. We as human beings, I've been reading this book lately called How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. It's brilliant. It's about mushrooms and LSD, and I highly recommend it. But no, seriously, I do. But there's this brain science that goes into it, and what we have is what's known as the default map up here, the default neural node. We're not going to get into all that stuff, but basically as you grow older, it solidifies, right? As adults, we become more efficient in our thinking processes and stuff. But it is altogether different than how children's brains are wired. And if you know children, if there's one thing they're really good at, it's being creative, right? They can play with anything. They'll pick up a rock and they're like, yeah, this is super rock and I'm going to crush little rock. And they go crazy with it, right? And then they throw it at each other. Mom's like, stop it, Rick. Give Sarah a round of applause. That's awesome. I've done that activity. I've done that activity dozens and dozens of times, and it has never not worked. Never once. People have talents, and when we give them the space to do it, they show up. When we create a safe environment, people come out of their shells and do what they have inside of them. And by the way, we created a safe environment here. We laughed together. You know about my family. We're homies, right? We created this safe environment, and then Sarah came up and was like, oh yeah. Let's focus on what's right with people. One of you is like, ah! I believe that we've got to find ourselves in a state of flow. And you hear people talking about a flow state all the time, but here's the thing. Flow is both the desired outcome and the required beginning. In order to get to that state of flow, we've got to make a choice and go. We've got to decide what we give our energy. Are we giving our energy to those things and processes that are holding us back, or are we giving us energy to the things that are unlocking our talent and potential and creating new opportunities? We have a choice to make, but it requires us starting. It requires us going. It requires us saying yes. And here's the thing, that's challenging for us because we've got built into us these days, we got this built-in no. Somebody's like, oh, hey, Rick, a no. I got this great, a no. And we're very quick to shoot down ideas, but what if instead we follow this process? Slow your no. Slow your no. As a general rule, with some things, not everything, instead of saying no, ask a question. Say like, Dimitri, what does that look like? Tell me more. What would that look like if it worked? And in doing so, we help people feel like they can contribute their best ideas. And the thing about it is, when you let people do that, very often, you know what happens? The idea either works or they give up on it. But in the process, you created the space for them to feel that they were utilized, that their talents were being utilized. You guys have a good time? I want to give our energy before we close out here today to gratitude. I want to thank the ATD staff for, as always, putting together a fantastic conference. I want to thank all the speakers. Are you still here? Speakers, stand up. We want to thank you. Very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank Robert, the sound guy in the corner. Give it up for Robert. I want to thank my videographers, Dennis and Chris. Where'd Dennis go? Hey, Dennis. I want to thank my family because they're here. By the way, if you see my parents afterwards, if you liked what happened here today, tell them, thank you, you did a great job. And if you didn't like it, go up to them and say, look what you did. There's only one real way I can close this out, and you know that, right? Because Diana told me I had to, and I listened to good advice. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am not... Ooh. That sounded good. Thank you! Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed the conference. It's been a wonderful time talking to you.